often fail when women are excluded or included only symbolically. I think some of it was given here, but please build upon what was said.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Mona, some of those exact things I was also going to mention, so I'll just reaffirm. Yeah, this is what I tell people all the time. We are just like doomed to repeat ourselves until someone finally listens and takes action on 25 years of women, peace, and security and generations of women's activism. So I don't mind repeating what others have said here today. We've also had really important and beautiful insights from those in the earlier panel and those giving speeches and statements today. So I'm just going to try to add some to that as well. And thank you so much to the organizers for inviting me to be here. I feel incredibly privileged to be among here with this group and with my Afghan and Iranian sisters. It's wonderful to be in company with you. So to the question, I just wanted to start with a little background that I think everyone here knows, that women in all of their extreme diversity and intersectionality have so many different roles in conflict and in any context. And those roles include peace building. They include also participating in the conflict and being perpetrators of violence. There's quite a spectrum when it comes to the roles of women in these contexts. And they are also significantly impacted by conflict in many different ways, including how Mona mentioned, they're displaced. Women make up the majority of those who are internally and externally displaced. They're affected by intentional conflict-related sexual violence. They are taking on new roles. Many are invisible, some are visible, but when those gender roles are affected by conflict, they take all of this on. And then you get to the negotiating table and you want only the parties of the conflict to be represented there, to the ones who have been waging war and causing all of this destruction and causing all this displacement. You only want their perspectives to be shared at these tables. You want to exclude women and other minorities and other groups. It doesn't work. And we have the evidence that shows it does not work. You're missing the critical perspectives that are needed with how women have been impacted, how others have been impacted. You need those perspectives and you need their input to know how to rebuild after conflict. And if you don't have it, you won't do it. And you won't have, and you will completely miss out on that. And those are essential for rebuilding. So you won't have women's definition of what justice and accountability looks like. Is the Taliban supposed to define what justice and accountability looks like for Afghan women after what they've done? Not just in the last 5 years, but also before? Is some diplomat from Norway supposed to define what justice and accountability is for Afghan women? Someone from the UK? No, they need to be. It's not even they should, it's an imperative. They have to be. And women continue globally to be underrepresented in formal negotiations, but to continue to be the majority in grassroots peace building and local peace building efforts, including in Afghanistan. So they are constantly on the front lines, impacted on the front lines, doing humanitarian aid, doing mutual aid, doing the work that needs to be done, putting all of this labor unpaid, invisible, some visible, and then completely left out of the picture when it comes to future building for any country, including Afghanistan. And we saw this at Doha in 2020. So women work symbolically. I completely agree with you on the symbolism included, right? But then we get an agreement where women are completely out of the picture. And many of us in this room and online and others are sitting in, before August 2021, we're sitting in spaces, we're talking with diplomats, we're saying, shit's about to go down. And it's not gonna be good, and it's not good for Afghan women. We're seeing rises and increases in attacks on women, human rights defenders, women activists. We need protection, we need protection. They don't listen. August 2021 happens, it's chaos, we have the evacuations, and then we immediately have the beginning of gender apartheid. Women were they were included symbolically, and look what they lost. There was no inclusion of women in Doha 2020, and then we have Doha 2.0. and they continue to be excluded, which is just like mind-boggling to me. You sit here and you're just like, what are you doing? The same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. We have 25 years of women, peace, and security that women from all over the world, it's not a Western agenda, it's a global agenda. Women from all over the world, from every level, have put together that agenda. They've laid out a roadmap, and we have the evidence that when women are included, peace agreements are more sustainable. That is just evidence. It's just fact at this point. So we continue to leave women, Afghan women, out of the Doha process. Those that were initially included, it wasn't a transparent process. Nothing to me has ever been, in my own career, I have learned so much from working with Afghan women in the last 5 years. It has never been so obviously colonial to me than having G8 countries and UNAMA decide who's gonna be at the peace table, not tell anyone who, but have these secret invitations. Then they go, and then in 2024, they decide women aren't gonna be there at all. They decide, women did not decide. And rightfully so, Afghan women then protest because they have been working so hard. It was August 2021, and most of the women in this room and those that I know, by September 2021, were immediately picking up their activism, trying to figure out how to regroup, recollect, and keep moving. They're the reason why we have an accountability mechanism. They're the reason why, like Richard Bennett mentioned, why we have the tribunal. They're the reason why anything is happening, and the international community has maybe been a part of that, but mostly just in their way. And so I think it's time, when we come to the other question on principles for further engagement, I think the international community really needs to take a look and analyze the power imbalance and decide, are you going to be there with and for exclusively Afghan women, or are you going to just be in their way and continue to be in their way? Because they don't need you, actually, I don't think, because they're doing so much and working so much, and they're advocating on their behalf. They're flying all over the world doing everything, not getting paid to do it, not being supported to do it, and then just seeing challenge after challenge and rising to the occasion every single time. So I just think it's time for the international community to really just assess, are you going to be there with them, or are you going to just continue to be in their way? And that's how I feel about it. So, yes.
Thank you for the